Good morning. Our discussion for today is going to be on our poem, "Oh Captain, My Captain." Very important to know this poem is from a famous North American author named Walt Whitman. You have it in the back of your page. Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is considered one of the greatest poets in American history, American literature. Very important, this poem, "Oh Captain, My Captain," is referred to a famous president, former president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln.
Referred to
Abraham Lincoln. The speaker, that in this case is Walt Whitman, the speaker of our poem is Walt Whitman. And the person that Whitman is speaking to, is addressing to, is Abraham Lincoln. That's the captain that we're talking about in this poem. I'll read the background.
The poem is written in the background of Abraham Lincoln's assassination after America's Civil War was over.
To make a fix there, that assassination was near the end of the Civil War. The Civil War wasn't over when he died, okay? And how he died? He was shot to the head in a theater for the back. He just shot it from the back by a guy named John Wilkes Booth. So it was shot from the back in a theater in Washington, D.C.
By John what?
John Wilkes Booth. And this was on 1865. 1865. Fun fact about the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, it was during a Good Friday. Good Friday, in Sunday. That same day. Abraham Lincoln is going to be one of the 4 presidents assassinated in office or while in office in the United States. Number 1, it's Abraham Lincoln, 1865. Number 2, James Garfield, 1881.
Garfield. 18 what?
81.
Lincoln, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. We got 4. Number 1 was Lincoln in 1865.
James Garfield.
Number 2, James Garfield in 1881. In 1901, William McKinley was the 3rd president assassinated. William McKinley.
John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy.
McKinley. I'm sorry. McKinley. McKinley was the 3rd president assassinated. By the way,
assassinated Matt.
they were all assassinated while being presidents. Very important about William McKinley. When Puerto Rico was invaded by the United States of America in 1898, the President of the United States during the invasion was William McKinley. He was a president when Puerto Rico was invaded. And the 4th president assassinated while being in office
John F. Kennedy.
was JFK or John F. Kennedy in 1963. And if you ask me, and you ask whoever you want to ask, Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy are regarded or are looked as two of the greatest American presidents,
Bueno.
Lincoln and Kennedy. Why? For the things that they did. They did big time.
It was assassin.
1963. Lincoln 65. Garfield 81. McKinley 1901. And on 63 was John F. Kennedy. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
America is described as a ship which was to sail through a stormy sea. Abraham Lincoln is the captain of this ship. The ship has survived the turbulent sea and has arrived at the port. Just then, the poet perceives drops of blood where the captain is lying. The people at the shore are celebrating the safe return of the ship. They are unaware that the captain who steered this ship thought the storm has died. The people at the shore may continue their celebrations, but the poet's heart is broken and he cannot join them. Every great success demands a sacrifice. The situation described in the poem is similar to the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi soon after independence.
This is very different to the Pequot story because in the Pequot Moby Dick, Pequot is not going to return to harbor. In this poem, the ship is going to return to harbor. However, what's going to happen with the captain? The captain is going to return dead. Okay. The ship, you could represent that the ship are making a comparison to the United States of America. You have to look outside the box. The captain of the ship, Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States during that time. What is the battle, the war that we're fighting? The American Civil War. Simple as that. So if you know, back to United States history, what is the American Civil War? That is a conflict between the Union and the Confederates, when ultimately the Union is going to win. That ultimately will cause the death of Abraham Lincoln near the end of the war. Okay. Not only Lincoln, bunch of people.
What represents the Civil War?
The Civil War. Well, the Civil War is represented. Okay, what I want to say is that the Civil War is the time period of the poem. Okay? The ship symbolizes United States. The captain symbolizes Abraham Lincoln. Okay? The ship is symbolizing the United States of America. The captain has been symbolized by Abraham Lincoln. And the speaker here is, walk with me, okay? Read the first two lines, Paola.
Oh, Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship was weathered every right, the price we sought is won.
Okay, weather, control. Rack, wins. Price, the goal. Sought is seeking, looking for. Oh, Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The speaker is speaking to the captain that they had a long trip, very difficult trip. However, that trip, it's over. The ship has weather, has control, every wind, every storm, and ultimately the prize, the goal was accomplished, was conquered. What is the goal here? If you look back to the time period, what was the goal? To win the Civil War, to free up the slaves. Did that happen? Yes, therefore, The goal was accomplished. Go ahead.
The port is near. The bells I hear. The people all exulting.
All exalted, all excited.
While follow eyes the steady keel.
Remember the keel that I was talking in the Moby Dick? The keel is that bottom part that is like pointing. It's underwater. That could represent that, or it could represent the ship as a whole. Like the ship completely that is coming back in one piece.
The vessel grim and darling.
Even though the ship has come back, it is not in a good state. Why? Because of the long storms and the battles. It's kind of deteriorated. Go ahead.
But oh heart, heart, heart.
Very important. The heart here represents the courage, the bravery, the optimism of our captain, of Abraham Lincoln. A courage to fight, an optimism to have a vision of the future, of what the future had in store for America.
All the bleeding drops of red.
Okay, all the bleeding drops of red is representing the blood that was spilled, that was poured by the war. All the people that died and were injured by the war. You know how many people were decapitated? A lot, because of the American Civil War. And Walt Whitman is gonna say in different of the poems that he's gonna be writing the smell, the horrific smell of the human body when it was what? All the pieces that they cut it, they had to pile it up together because they didn't have the space to put it on. And all of that smell was untolerable right there. It was very difficult to overcome that smell, but it was very, very strong. Go ahead.
Where on the deck my captain lies, falling cold and dead.
After a great battle, ship came back. However, what happened to our captain? Dead. Go ahead.
Oh captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you flag that is from for you the bubble trill.
Bubble trills are like trumpets. Bubble trills are trumpets. The speaker is begging the captain to wake up. Wake up and listen to the trumpets. Wake up and listen to the bells. Wake up and watch your flag hanging. The people in harbor, they're having a what? A celebration. They are celebrating that the war is done, that the war is conquered. However, they haven't realized yet that our captain is dead. Go ahead.
For you the bouquets everyone's red, for you the shores are crowded.
Ribbons red are flowers.
For you they call, the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here captain,
Okay, sewing mass is like to move slowly. It's like they have the people with the buckets of flowers throwing flowers, and like the mass is moving slowly and eager, turning their faces. Go ahead.
here captain, dear father, the arm beneath your head.
He is considering the captain his father. When he's saying the arm beneath the head, it's like when you have the body right there and you're right there putting your hand underneath the head and you're grabbing the head and you're speaking to the captain. Like, please, like come back. That's what he says with the hand beneath the head. He is holding the captain's head. Okay, go ahead.
It is some dream that on the deck, you falling cold and dead.
It is a dream that you have fallen cold and dead. It's when something happens and you're like, this must be a dream. I can't believe it. That's the state that he is. Go ahead.
My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still.
Lips are pale and still. That
My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse or nor will.
right there he's explaining, hey, it's dead. No pulse.
The
What?
ship is anchored safe and sound. Its voyage closed and done.
The ship is safe at harbor. The battle is done. We're safe now.
From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object won.
The object won, that is winning the war.
Exalt, O shores.
Exalt is like excitement, like to be jubilous, to be happy.
Exalt, O shores, and make, O billows.
Shores is like the shore, right there near the shore in the sea, right there where the ship is. Good.
But I with mournful tread walk the deck by Captain Mud.
But I with mourning thread is like thread is to walk in a certain way. He is walking with this sense of mourning, of sorrow, of grief. Go ahead.
Falling cold and dead.
Walk the deck, my captain lies. He's gonna walk. Everyone is celebrating outside while he's in the boat, in the ship, walking where the dead body is. Falling cold and dead. Okay, that's why we say that this poem by Walt Whitman is dedicated to Abraham Lincoln. Okay, a lot of comparisons in this case to the respect that a person has to his captain. The people are going to go with this captain all the way to the end. Okay, they're going to ride along. If they have to die riding along, they will do so. Okay, so basically that will be it for our poem. Oh, Captain, my captain. Thank you.